Good evening, everyone! Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants, and of course I am your host, your YouTube messiah, and often imitating, never duplicated superstar, Tim Vicious, and we're going over to Raw this week. Was in Lexington, Kentucky, and, well, before we get into the show, I want to go over one thing was big. Talked about it very vaguely, and I emphasized the term vaguely before on last week with Jazz and the NWA relinquishing the women's title and the Crockett Cup. Now, the Crockett Cup did happen. They did announce also that the winners of the Crockett Cup would also be crowned the new NWA Tag Team Champions, and those titles have been vacated since 2017. And the winners of the cup were PCO and Brody King. So, congrats to them. Nothing against PCO. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but honestly, anytime I ever see him, all I see is the pirate. I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just that's really that's all I ever really see from him. And yeah, I'm sorry. Other than that, killer match with Marty Scurll and Nick Aldis, and it wouldn't have been an NWA show without somebody getting some, without the world title match having some color and the mat looking like, and the canvas on the get my damn words right, the canvas in the ring looking like a crime scene. Now, with that said, now we go into the bad part of the show. The rest of it. Because the show for Raw Lexington was very subpar at the best. I mean, honestly, its only saving graces were the women. And that's not just me being me, because, well, if you know me enough, you know enough about my stories, and we'll leave it at that because certain children may watch this show. Anyways, Raw starts off with Little Miss Bliss herself, and man, oh god, I think I'm gonna, too early to start having to take them damn heart pills yet, man. You know, Alexa Bliss coming out, looking like she does, emphasizing on who's going to be in the 4 Raw participants for the men's Money in the Bank, and it is. And the participants are Braun Strowman, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, and Baron Corbin. Now, after everyone is announced, you know, they all highlight on how they're going to win. Corbin goes on saying on how he was a former winner, this, that, and the other. And that Ricochet hits the nail, boom, right on the head. Yeah, you're a former winner. You won it. But didn't you lose when you cashed in? Just, you know, everyone always wants to emphasize on how he's a former Money in the Bank winner. Former Money in the Bank winner. You know, that's what cracks me up when people go and say, oh, well, this guy held the title for X amount of times. This guy held this title for 6 times. Okay, so you're telling me he lost it 5. You know? That's just me, you know. I don't see the big thing about emphasizing on how you've won the briefcase. Don't go talking about on how you won the briefcase. Talk about on how you successfully had it. You know, if you're gonna emphasize, and that's just saying if you got somebody who's in the match that has had it and won. You know, but he started going on. Next, you know, Corbin started going on Ricochet about being short, being, you know, not being as big as the other guys, which, real quick, right now, we're starting up bets right here on this show. We're doing bets now on how many times Ricochet is going to jump, flip, and or dive off of a ladder. leave any and all bets down below. We'll, and if you're interested in the odds, I'll get back to you as soon as I can on it. Now back to the matter at hand. After that, McIntyre gets in, talks about on how Corbin, he keeps stealing people's opportunities, on how he had the shot last week. It should have been him versus Styles, but he took it from him. And then Strowman wound up, all of you shut up! And then went on about on how everyone's going to wind up getting these hands. And yeah, and then he wound up saying, you know what, you guys are a whole lot of talk. How about we put your money where your mouth is? You two tag team against me and him right now. And then we go to the match. So Ricochet winds up working as the team punching bag. Strowman winds up eventually getting a hot tag, starts cleaning up house. One thing did notice with this match though, gotta say, right off bat, was when Strowman, he was doing that running bull charge on the outside of the ring when McIntyre, boom, he hit that Claymore kick on him right on the outside. Me and a few other people saw that landing McIntyre had. First thought was, oh, that was a hard landing. Did he get hurt? Did he get hurt? Did he get injured? And when they showed the replay, it was like, oh no, he clipped the side of the ring and landed really hard. He's good. It was an unsuspecting sting, but damn, that had to hurt like shit, and that looked like he was expecting that mat to be a little more forgiving than it was. Unfortunately, it wasn't. Now, match wound up coming to an end. Fast forward a little bit. Ricochet got back in, started working on McIntyre. McIntyre wound up eventually taking down Ricochet. Corbin came in to go and try and do like he did last week. Try and take the spotlight, steal the victory. Did not work. Instead, Strowman wound up not take out Ricochet. Worked on Strowman. Then Strowman wound up getting Corbin up, tagged in Ricochet, hit a running power slam, and then Ricochet shooting star press off the top, landed on him, 1, 2, 3, that is it. Next up we got tag action, Usos going against the Good Brothers themselves, Gallows and Anderson. And the Usos, they were leading at the beginning of it. Nice little bit of back and forth, but the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson, they started to pick up more. They started to pretty much lead the match as the time went on, right around when Gallows threw, I think it was Uso 2 into the rope. And not like he was throwing him to bounce him off of it, but like throw him in like part of his neck and his ear caught the rope, like, gah, like that. And you could just see him like, mother. He looked like he was seriously clipped and it hurt like shit. But yeah. Next thing you know, eventually Uso 1 got the hot tag. They started cleaning up house. They threw around a few super kicks. Did a dive. Next thing you know, match came to an end with hitting the dual super kicks and then the super flash splash onto Luke Gallows. 1, 2, 3. That was it. After that, then they show a video saying something that nobody has ever seen before, and it was them just like with their phone, like, hey, get a load of this. And then they panned over and then they showed the Revival shaving each other's backs, which I don't know, in wrestling I can't really see that much as like an embarrassing thing, because you look at most wrestlers, most of them are clean shaven, don't have much hair. I mean, Styles, McIntyre, Rollins, Scott Dawson, those are pretty much the only ones I can think of that really got like frickin' tarantulas or wool on their chest, Not only that, you go back and you look at the 80s ones, at the 80s wrestling, guarantee, you see most guys, they had freaking oil all up on their backs, you know they had to have a brother go and be like, hey, can you oil up my back, brother? You know? So, I don't know, I didn't get it. Anyways, next match came impromptu, Miz versus Bobby Lashley. This came to be from Miz doing a Miz TV segment with him interviewing Bobby Lashley. No Lio Rush in sight. Now, according to the rumor mills, and take the dirt sheets with a grain of salt, mind you, apparently Lio Rush has had some backstage heat with some folks and now is never going to be allowed to wrestle on Raw again. Yeah, I don't believe that. You know, they see the kid, you know, he's got talent. The kid's got talent. The kid's got a mouth. He can work the mic. He can work in the ring. And, you know, not only that, he's also good for, he's an excellent chicken shit. He's also an excellent chicken shit heel. You know, it freaking works for him. It works for him beautifully, especially with WWE being the quote-unquote land of the giants. Yeah, I don't buy it. But either way, Leo wasn't out there, and for whatever reason, Bobby Lashley decided to take a page out of The Rock and Deion Sanders' book and refer to himself in the third person. Well, let me tell you, Miz, what Bobby Lashley wants. What Bobby Lashley wants to know, and just kept kind of going on like that. And why? I mean, was he saying that in like a snarky way? Because Miz was asking, well, Bobby Lashley, I want to ask you, if it was just for that and it was a one-off thing, thank God, but please do not have him follow up with referring himself to the third person. Because the last thing we need is to have Rock come out and call gimmick infringement. But Lashley, he goes, mocks the Miz for losing at WrestleMania and having his dad get the shit kicked out of him there. And then, you know, referencing again on how Shane keeps saying Miz's dad has a baked potato-like face. And then he started slugging. Next thing you know, boom, we got a match now. Now, Lashley, he was leading at first. Miz started to pick up the pace, and he was carrying it good right up until Shane came out. Next thing you know, Miz started throwing him off a little. Still kept going, but match came to an end when Shane, he got up on the apron just as it looked like Miz was about to finish it. And then, distracted Miz, he turns around, Lashley, boom, spears him. 1, 2, 3, that's it. Next thing you know, after that, Shane gets in there, throws a few shots in, locks a triangle in him, locks a triangle choke on him, makes Miz pass out. Fast forward to a little bit later in the show, Miz gets interviewed about all that. He then issues a challenge to Shane at Money in the Bank for a steel cage match, which Shane accepts. So now we're going to have a cage match between Shane and Miz at Money in the Bank. I can't argue on that. You know, you look at damn it, gotta get my words right. You look at the old days, the old classic days in wrestling, cage matches 9 out of 10 times were where storylines would come to an end. And not only that, most of the time heels did not win it. And honestly, I don't see Miz winning it I don't see Shane coming out the victor in this. So with that said, now let's move forward. Actually, before we do, I want to get into one note real quick. Emphasized on how the women wound up saving the show, really. And it's basically because of two things. One, I'll get into one in a minute, but the other was Becky Lynch came out, cut a promo talking about on how Charlotte's got a pedigree and on how Charlotte keeps jumping the line in front of every other competitor out there. And then she's got to go and take care of Lacey also, who's using her womanly charms to get favors, to get title matches and such. And she's just going to kick both of their asses. Next thing you know, Lacey comes out, says, you know what, I'm done talking, honey. And then just starts, and then them two start throwing out. Now, honestly, I don't think I've criticized Renee Young on commentary a whole lot. You know, about as much as I would anyone else on commentary. But probably the one thing I think she said that really, like, just drove a wild hair up my ass was, you know, for a classy lady, she knows how to fight. She was a fucking Marine! She was trained to know on how to rip someone's head off, shit down their neck, and use their skull as a cereal bowl. I have a brother who's a Marine. Trust me, he's shown me how to do that stuff. You know, I don't know, maybe that's just because I know that kind of shit, that's why it irritated me, but yeah. Them two having that good ass, they had a good nice little slugfest, which really, really was a saving point on the show. So next up we got the Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar once again going up against the Lucha House Party. Now, just as they got their gear off, next thing you know, boom, that's when the Lucha House Party decides to attack. And that's about the last bit of offense that they had, because right after that, man, it was just basically read them their last rites, and yeah, they got put on the ass end of an ass kicking. Ivar wound up showing what's what for a 300+ pound man. He can frickin' move and is extremely agile. One of the big reasons I've loved this tag team since they were in Ring of Honor. Eric, shorter of the guy, but he's the massive powerhouse. Ivar, he's the bigger of the two, but he's the high fly. They are frickin' walking contradictions. They are a walking contradiction, but they fucking work and they gel so damn good. You know? Just, yeah. Now, they wound up pretty much, like I said, they murdered Lucha House Party, and then after the match, after they finished killing Grand Metalik and Kalisto, Lince Dorado decided to come in, which, very stupid move, because after that they pretty much was sent to Niflheim. Yeah. So next up we got women's action. Now this came to be because of the announcement of Little Miss Bliss once again saying who's going to be on the Raw Women's Money in the Bank, and again, Alexa Bliss's outfit tonight, okay, now I know why I'm freaking all over messed up right there right now. Whew, good God. She wound up saying the participants were Natalya, which at some point, you know, she's going to wind up doing something stupid like use a ladder, like find a way to freaking use a ladder and a sharpshooter. Just don't let Natalya talk, please, because honestly, it's really hard to tell who's more monotone. Natalya, one of the Bella twins, or a phone sex operator. Seriously. After that came Dana Brooke, which, thank you God, new blood mixed in, you know, finally, because, yeah, much as I love what talent is on TV right now, every now and then it's nice to change things up sometimes. And, you know, not only that, everyone keeps saying, well, we want to see new people, we want to see new people, we want to see new people. Well, they're introducing new people now. So the second somebody says, oh, why are they giving us this person? You fucking asked for this shit, and I'm nuts. Anyways, Dana then wound up cutting on Natty, saying on how she's just handed out opportunities after opportunities. Then they wound up announcing Naomi as the next one. And then Alexa's like, whoa, whoa. Are you guys going to stop for a minute so that way you can hear the next person? This next participant has worked her way up the ladder to get to this spot. It is me. Alexa Bliss is also in for the Raw Women's Money in the Bank match. Freaking awesome on that, on how she sold it, because again, Dana just kept going the whole way saying, you know, on how, you know, they all are handed out opportunities. Naomi started getting her shit, saying on how, you know, you just threw yourself in it, this, that, and the others. Like, you know, Bliss was, hey, I'm just that good. I could take you out anytime, anywhere. Naomi, well, why don't we do it right now? I'm not in the right gear for it. What's the matter? I thought you said you could. Alright, let's go. So we now get Naomi versus Alexa. Naomi was leading. Alexa started to pick up some pace, but at points she had to stop because she had to keep tying her shoes. She was wearing Converse Chucks. She was wearing some Chuck Taylors that I can speak from first-hand experience. I don't know what the hell it is. As much as I love Converses and as much as I love Chuck Taylors, I don't know what it is, but no matter how many times I frickin' knot, double, triple, frickin' God knows how many knots I put into it, my one shoe always comes undone. I can relate to Alexa Bliss having those difficulties wearing them shoes. As much as I love Converses, that is a huge problem I have with them. But yeah, she kept having those problems. Match wound up coming to an end eventually when, as Naomi was pulling Alexa up, next thing you know, boom, shoes came off. And oh dear Lord in heaven, the dirt sheets are trying to make clickbait out the wazoo now, saying there was a wardrobe malfunction. It wasn't a fucking wardrobe malfunction, it was a planned spot. You stupid idiots. Stop making fucking clickbait like that, man. That kind of shit kills. Just, ugh. That shit's gonna kill yourself because people are gonna be like, oh, wow, really? And, oh, well, no, fuck them guys now. Yeah. So, yeah. Naomi's pulling Alexa over. Next thing you know, her shoes come off. She's like, fuck that. Next thing you know, Alexa does a drop toe hold. Naomi hits the turnbuckles. Alexa gets up, starts yelling at the ref. I'm not in the right ring attire, this, that, and the other. Turns around, next thing you know, Naomi, boom, hits her, drags her over into a corner, hits a split-legged moonsault, 1, 2, 3, that's it. So now we got tag team action, Ryder and Hawkins going against the Revival, and Revival dealing with a whole lot of pent-up anger because of shit earlier from the Usos, excuse me, and the crowd, and God bless, the crowd went along with it, doing shave your back shit. Very much so like in the olden days with Albert, when how the crowds used to chant that to him. And yeah, so Ryder and Hawkins, they were leading at the start, but the Revival, they started to pick up the pace. Surprisingly, Ryder was the team punching bag on this one, but yeah, just I'm sorry. I'm not complaining that we got a new face on TV. I'm really not. It's just the fan in me, I cannot get behind Kurt Hawkins. Ryder, I got no problem with. He's a cool dude. I could see him working up in the mid cards. I could see him being a big mid card guy. But just, I'm sorry, yeah. So yeah, anyways, match comes to an end. Scott Dawson's got Ryder down, took him out. I think it was with a good right hook. Next thing you know, went over for a pin. 1, 2. Next thing you know, Ryder rolls him over into a crucifix-like pin. 1, 2, 3. That's it. They get the win. So next up, we come to the last match of the night. Samoa Joe against Rey Mysterio. Follow-up from WrestleMania. Joe was leading on at it right into the break. They come back. We get a little bit of back and forth from it, but not necessarily what you would expect from these two. You know, But given the time constraints that they had, I'm not going to go and be like, oh, well, they could have done better. They should have done this. They're limiting them. No, just fucking time restraints. You know, it's just like any other show. You got X amount of minutes to do a match on this at this spot. Don't fuck it up. You fuck up the whole show. That's what it is, plain and simple. Now, match came to an end when Joe had Ray up. Looked like he was going to do like a Uranagi backbreaker on him, but once he hoisted him up, Ray flipped around, rolled him over, and wound up doing a roll up 1, 2, 3. That was it. So yeah. After that, Ray's son came out, put him up on his shoulders. So maybe we'll see something with his kiddo down the line. No, according to the rumor mills. And again, like I said earlier, take what you hear on the rumor mill. Take what you read on the dirt sheets to a grain of salt. Apparently, his kiddo's been training at Lance Storm's wrestling school, which definitely can't argue on because Lance Storm is a hell of a teacher. And he said himself, if he can't teach you on everything you need to know in wrestling during the very short amount of sessions that those classes have, you know, he don't know what to tell you. You know, especially considering there's some wrestling schools that'll have you learn and train for like 5 years before they let you have a match. So yeah. Either way, now we come to the closing segment of the night. AJ Styles, Seth Rollins contract signing, and oh God, make it end. It was a very ugly contract signing. It was basically AJ saying, I made SmackDown great, now I'm here to make Raw great, and I want that title because that's going to make it great. And Seth basically was saying, AJ, a lot of people say me and you are cut from the same cloth, but here's the difference. I was able to beat Brock Lesnar, you couldn't, and this right here's the proof, and you want to take me out for it. One thing Seth said that did kind of bother me was he said that he wasn't looking to be the next Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels or whatever, something like that. He wasn't looking to be the next different wrestler. He was looking to be the first Seth Rollins, which kind of, see, my brain's weird like that. I remember, you know, birthdays, anniversaries, really important family shit I cannot remember. Random quotes and lines from movies or wrestling or comic books, I'm like a frickin' photographic memory on. You rewind the clock back to when Seth was chasing after the WWE title and had a match coming up at Hell in a Cell. He was in there cutting a promo against Shawn Michaels, and he said to Shawn that when he was moving his way up, he was getting told he was going to be the next Shawn Michaels. And Shawn said, you know, that's the problem with your generation. You guys were looking to be the next this, the next Shawn, the next Hogue, the next Brett, the next Ric Flair, all that. Whereas my generation, we were looking to be the first this. You know, I don't know. That just kind of hit me. But either way, they did that, and then next thing you know, it led to a fight, and Seth wound up doing a suicide dive to AJ, threw AJ on the outside, then did a suicide dive to him, got back in, was like, come on, come on. Next thing you know, AJ, he got up, bounced off the rope, hit Seth with a phenomenal form, but you watch the replay on it, you could see AJ's head caught the armrest on the chair that was in there, so ooh, that had to fucking hurt. I'm pretty sure he's gonna have a potato there on there, and God, I hope he's taking some Motrin right now. So yeah, that was it. Honestly, on a 1 to 10, 4.5. So yeah, that is it for this week's show, folks. So Do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Make sure y'all look for me on my Twitter at TimVicious. Do also got another account if I get ghosted or put in Twitter jail, Tim_Vicious. Also on that Facebook gimmick, Tim Ash. If you're going to look for me on my Facebook gimmick, let me know you found me on there from here or my Twitter at TimVicious. I don't think you got your creep John going. Huge thanks to my executive producer, Ali Rewan, who did give the music for this week's show. Make sure y'all check him out. He's on iTunes, Spotify, and such. Also, you want one of these sweet-ass Ali Rewan shirts, hit me up and I'll talk to the man for you. Show that man some love and support. As well as follow these cool-ass cats right here on the Twitter. Axel Mulligan, Kenny Killer, DSB_Ivy, Cranky Asshole, Dazzy MWP, and Sergeant Curry Pants. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck you.